This lesson shall be about problems related to time and distance. These problems are very easy to master as they are based on very simple formulae. IBPS regularly puts time and distance and speed problems in the math section in order to test your speed calculating skills and the skills with which you can apply a simple formula. As I mentioned, there are some key and very simple formulae that time and distance problems use. They would be related to speed, related to the calculation of average speed, and unit conversion from maybe say miles to kilometers or hours to seconds and so on. Speed is given by distance divided by time. That is, it is the distance travelled per unit time. Also, distance is equal to speed into time. That is, the rate at which you travel multiplied by the time for which you travel. This is the simple formula that you need to remember for the calculation of speed. Likewise, time shall be equal to distance divided by speed. That is, how much have you travelled divided by what is the rate at which you travelled. So these are the three key formulae that you must remember regarding speed. The second key formula is related to the calculation of average speed. Average speed is the total distance travelled divided by total time taken. Now it is not necessary that when an object or person is travelling from point A to point B, he shall do so at a uniform speed. The speed can vary. There can be traffic signals on the way, so he might stop for a while. However, when you are looking at the entire journey as a whole, you would probably refer to his average speed. That is, what is the total distance travelled and what is the total time taken. That could probably include the stops, increase in speed, decrease in speed, and so on. Imagine a journey that is not uniform. Someone has travelled a distance d1 in time t1 and he travels a distance d2 in time t2. The total length of his journey is distance d1 plus d2 and the total time that he has taken to travel is t1 plus t2. Therefore, average speed shall be d1 plus d2 divided by t1 plus t2. A unit basically is a degree of measurement. It could be kilometers, it could be hours, it could be miles. Now the key formulae or multiplying factors for major distances and time units are what you need to remember. Remember that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters, 1 meter is 100 centimeters, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. Likewise for time, 1 hour is 60 minutes, 1 minute is 60 seconds, therefore 1 hour is 3600 seconds. Let's look at the different question types that can be asked for time and distance. There are two main question types. The first one deals with the applied use of formulae. You had all these formulae just mentioned to you. These type of questions primarily involve the direct use of these formulae. For example, look at this question. Excluding stops, the average speed of the bus is 54 kilometers per hour. Including stops, the average speed is 45 kilometers per hour. By what percentage does time increase on including stops? You have that the average speed is equal to total distance travelled divided by total time taken. Now the distance travelled will be the same in both cases because it's the same journey. Now the distance travelled will be the same in both cases as it is the same journey just taking different times. So without stops we have 54 equal to distance by time. With stops we have 45 equal to distance by time. We need to know the percentage by which time increases on including stops. So what we basically need is time 2 divided by time 1 expressed as a percentage. Since the distance is the same, we have 54 into time 1 is equal to 45 into time 2. Therefore, time 2 by time 1 equal to 54 by 45, which is equal to 1.2, that is 20%. So this question is the applied use of formula. The second kind of question deals with unit conversion. That is basically you're given a time or a distance or a speed in one unit and you'll have to convert it to another unit. For example, look at this question. Rahul walked 600 meters from his home to the bus stop in 5 minutes. What is his speed in kilometers per hour? Now here you have distance in meters time in minutes but speed in kilometers per hour. So you'll have to convert 600 meters to kilometers and 5 minutes to hour in order to get the speed in the desired unit. We know that speed is equal to distance by time. Here, Rahul walked 600 meters distance in time of 5 minutes. So speed is equal to 600 meters divided by 5 minutes. 600 meters is equal to 600 divided by 1000 kilometers. 5 minutes is 5 divided by 60 hours. Calculating it further, we get a speed of 7.2 kilometers per hour. Let us look at some tips and shortcuts for solving a time, speed and a distance problem. The first one is converting something from kilometers per hour to meters per second. The shortcut formula is that speed in meters per second is equal to speed in kilometers per hour multiplied by 5 by 18. This is a very easy shortcut formula. You could probably have used it to solve the previous question also. Let us see how we get this formula. We all know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1000 meters divided by 3600 seconds, which gives you 5 by 18 meter per second. Now if 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second, x kilometer per hour shall be x multiplied by 5 by 18 meters per second. The second shortcut relates to equal distances but different speeds. That is, you are traveling two equal distances at two different speeds. There are several scenarios where such a thing can happen and several question wordings from which you can understand that a problem is one of this type. For instance, you could cover half the journey at speed 1 and another half the journey at speed 2. Likewise, you can have onward journey from point A to point B at speed 1 and the return journey from point B to point A at speed 2. The formula for this is average speed equal to 2s1 s2 divided by s1 plus s2. Remember that this formula is applicable only when two equal distances are travelled with different speeds. The third shortcut is regarding travel during equal times. That is, you travel for a certain duration at speed s1 and then you travel for the same duration at some other speed. This can happen in several scenarios and there are some question wordings which can help you understand that this question is one of this type. For instance, you travel for 2 hours at speed s1 and then you travel for the next 2 hours at speed s2. The formula for average speed in such a scenario is s1 plus s2 by 2. Now remember again that this formula is valid only for two equal durations.